Welcome to our CleanCast. Thank you for joining us. I've entitled today's CleanCast Freedom. It's being posted actually on the 3rd of July, the day before the big holiday. 241 years ago, our forefathers gathered and signed a Declaration of Independence from England. They wanted to have their own free country, not depending on some foreign government. And over these 241 years, the USA has survived and operated as a free people. We've survived on assassinations of presidents. We've survived presidents dying in office from illnesses. We've survived presidents resigning. We've even survived presidents being impeached. And of course, we've survived some nasty campaigns. As you might remember, we just last year completed another political campaign that was maybe one of the roughest and nastiest of all. And of course, our country has actively participated in 2 world wars and a lot of other conflicts around the world. But you know what? Through all of that, our country has survived with its freedom. Through all of that, and even with nasty campaigns and presidents dying in office and presidents resigning, we've always had a peaceful transition to the next government, whether it's Republican to Democrat, Democrat to Republican, or whatever. We've always been able to do that. We've never had a military coup as so many of these countries have. It's a wonderful feeling that even though you may not agree with whomever got into office, wherever, you do know that it was a peaceful, democratic way of doing it. I can recall several years ago attending a conference in a South American country that was a military dictatorship. And we were not able to start our conference until the military leader came in and gave us a little speech on the wonderfulness of their country under his regime, and then allowing it to officially open. And that probably was okay for those people, but we had a schedule, and he came in 2.5 hours late from where we could start. I visited also, by the way, that country now is democratic. They have actually elected a democratic slate of officers. And not too many years ago, my wife and I took a trip, and we visited a South Pacific country. You hear so much about the South Pacific. And while we were there, they were in the middle of a transition. They were in the middle of an overthrow. And as I was talking to certain people at the hotel there, they said, well, they're overthrowing the government again. Wait 2 or 3 more years, and the other side will overthrow them. And they said it's always in transition, always in turmoil, because they're militarily overthrowing each other. Well, I may be kind of proud to be in America. And even though I don't always agree with everything that goes on in this great country of ours, I was proud to be an American. We've always had this peaceful transition of power. Think about it. What other country could survive all of this? What other country could survive, assassinated presidents, impeachments, dying in office, resignations? Yeah. Our fathers did an astonishing job of trying to create a more perfect union, as we say, drafting a constitution, a Bill of Rights, articles, of independence. So, you ever thought about the freedom we enjoy? You ever thought about that? You have freedom to run your business. Yes, you say, well, the government makes me pay taxes. Yeah, they do. And yes, there are regulations for safety that hopefully keep our employees safe. And I can go on with all these different government regulations. But we don't work for the government. We work for us. The government gets their share. But they didn't, our forefathers did do an outstanding job of creating a government. We have a freedom to vote. Many countries don't get that chance. I should say it this way. Many countries get this chance, but there's one person on the ballot. They only get a chance to vote for one. Well, is that really a chance to vote? Here at least, we get 2 or 3 or 4 candidates. If you're going to vote for the president, we usually have 2 major candidates, and you got some other candidates as well, but we get an opportunity to voice our opinion. So, with all the flaws that we have, we're really still the best country in the world, aren't we? And the thing about it is that we need to let more people know that. I'm amazed sometimes, and this is somewhat humorous, and yet it's somewhat sad when those of you that may remember the jaywalking portion of the old Jay Leno show that used to be on, and I can vividly remember him going out on the street doing his jaywalking bit and asking people about their independence, about Independence Day, about July 4th. What does that mean? For many of them, it meant another day at the beach. And then when somebody said, somebody would say we got our independence, that would lead him right into from who, from when, where. And, we had people say we got our independence from Mexico. I remember some saying from Texas, some saying from the Indians. I mean, it was just, I don't know that they ever got a right answer. And then you also have, if you've ever watched Fox News, there, a gentleman there by Watters World, he does the same thing. He goes out and asks those questions, and what does July 4th mean to you? And, he'll get things like party, picnics, and swimming. And those are all important. I mean, we do them too. Our family does them too. But never forget the red, white, and blue. Never forget the freedom. And he very seldom gets anybody that can answer the question, what does it really represent? Or some of the, again, sad but humorous ones are, when did we get our independence? And I remember one recently by Watters World, and they said, when did we get our independence? The young lady said, 1965. I mean, so anyway. So as we talk about that, and as I talk about freedom and your opportunity to run your business and live in the greatest country in the world, we have to talk about those people who have kept us our freedom. The men and women in the armed services. They've served in World War I, World War II, and the Korean War, the Vietnam War, all these other skirmishes. And war seems to be a very tough topic in this country. People are opposed to it. Who isn't opposed to war? But we have opposition to even going, World War I, World War II. But because we have men and women in the armed services keeping us secure around the world, we have the freedoms that we're talking about. So let me tell you, enjoy the holiday. Enjoy the holiday. But let's make sure that the people that we are associating with over this holiday understand what it really means and what significance it really has to your family, your business, and how it's made possible by the military men and women around the world. Happy holiday. Thanks for watching us today. See you next time.